I think that's one of the reasons why I started the whole Neoncity thing. Like, it's because like future funk music makes people happy. When you listen to it, you just want to dance and you just forgot about like all the sad things and stuff. So we are in the shop right now, and then you can see we have vinyl records here, and then we have cassette tapes over here, and we also sell stuff like old toys and then cameras, watches as well. So the theme of the shop is like products from the Showa era in Japan, like back in the 80s, 70s. I'm Davy, the owner of Neoncity Records. So we are a Hong Kong-based record label. We focus on future funk and city pop related music style.
Neoncity Records, a label based in Hong Kong, is at the center of this expanding community, and this is the story about how an old cassette duplication machine, some feel-good music from 1980s Japan, and an internet algorithm helped give rise to a new genre of electronic music. I'm talking about future funk.
So future funk is a relatively young genre compared to like a lot of other electronic music styles. I would say like nostalgia is like a really big part of the whole future funk the community. They fancy the like old Japanese like aesthetic.
So why the obsession with Showa era Japan? It's because the story of future funk begins, ironically, in the past. By the mid-1980s, Japan was a global economic powerhouse. Post-war reconstruction was over, and the building boom that saw cities like Tokyo literally rise from the ashes sent land prices skyrocketing. Between 1956 and 1986, land prices rose some 5,000%, prompting claims that the Imperial Palace, seen here in central Tokyo, was worth more than the entire US state of California. It was an era of excess, and people were searching for a new soundtrack to their flashy, high-tech lives. They found it in city pop, a subgenre of what was then called new music in Japan.
This is when the country's experiencing its most economic boom times, and it's also kind of at its most ridiculous in terms of how people go about their lives. It's a lot of like gold put on food and people just spending and spending and spending money. And the music also sort of reflects this. There's a lot of, it's music that kind of reflects this really upbeat, optimistic, city-centric kind of life in Japan, hence the name city pop.
City pop was aspirational music for Japan's rapidly growing middle class. It took elements from similar sounds of 80s excess and packaged it with imagery that matched.
I'm just picturing the feeling of city pop music. Like the album cover art, like usually comes with a drawing of a beach or like seaside, oceanside, or the tropical vibe.
By the end of the 1980s, Japan's bubble economy was about to pop. In 1991, the country entered its lost decades of economic stagnation. Fast forward to today, and city pop is on the verge of its big moment, thanks to a very 2020s invention.
The real sort of breakout moment for it is Mariya Takeuchi's Plastic Love, a song originally released in 1984. For whatever reason, the YouTube algorithm starts picking it up, and people are really struck by both the groove, the beat of it, and also the sort of melancholiness and nostalgia that it lurks within. So yeah, I think without the YouTube algorithm, it's interesting because you wouldn't have Plastic Love getting as big and influential as it did, I believe, just because it really became something you associated with the YouTube algorithm, right?
I think if not for city pop, future funk maybe will not even exist.
The earliest iterations of the genre were simple but infectious.
The early days of future funk is, Night Tempo's bootleg edit of Plastic Love, and then Tanuki's, I want to say it's Baby Baby no Yume, which is a remix of a different Mariya Takeuchi song, but reappropriated older sounds and turned it into this real like dance floor centric like jam.
In Hong Kong, Law was an early fan of this new genre and began to throw parties where he would spin city pop and future funk hits.
I've never planned to start a label or something. It was more like a hobby. Yeah, just DJing and partying with friends and playing music that we like.
Then, a chance conversation with a friend whose family owned a cassette tape duplication machine gave him an idea.
I think back then, cassette tape wasn't too popular yet. Not a lot of future funk artists was releasing their music on physical format back then. So I thought maybe we can try to do something like fill in the gaps and maybe people will like it. So the first cassette tape we released it for Night Tempo is this one. It's called Fantasy. Yeah, that one sold really well, and we have to repress it, and then everything starts from there.
Neoncity is really important for future funk. Neoncity took an internet genre that easily could have just been lost to time. Davy, he also has an ear for people taking future funk and moving it into new directions.
I don't think people do the so-called classic future funk anymore. Nowadays, they have to try to do their own sound. Like I have his album over here. This one is Fan Surface from Superfret. Yeah, it has the future funk sound, but it's more. I think it's more connected to the house music genre.
It's interesting to see where this will go next. So I do hope what people take from the entire city pop boom is like learning how essential city pop and the artists associated with it are to the history of Japanese music, and just how much it has all kind of like branched off from there, and all the great music that maybe isn't like a funk track that you would hear in Shibuya in 1985, but like is still really cool to get into.